The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Welcome to another GoldMine 101, our regular series of short presentations giving you hints and tips for getting the most out of GoldMine CRM. And in this session, I'm going to cover and outline a summary of the differences, the two main ways of tracking your sales, your potential up and coming sales in GoldMine, a sales forecast or an opportunity using the opportunity manager. So good afternoon. For those of you listening live, my name is Tim Wilmot and my company Wizard Systems. We're a specialist CRM solutions provider who help out mainly small and mid-sized companies improve their sales productivity, marketing and customer service through the use of simple and affordable solutions like GoldMine. Now, this presentation will be about a quarter of an hour or so in duration, just an overview of sales forecasting and the opportunity manager, just so that you can understand the advantages or the reasons why you would use one method over the other. My company Wizard Systems, we offer lots of additional help if you want to explore that further with us, if after today you still want a little bit more advice on the right route for you. Now, the audio part of this presentation is one way only. If you've got a question, please pop that into the question box on your meeting control panel, and I'll do my best to answer that at the end. Also, at the end, I'll give you an update on any GoldMine product news as of May 2021. And this call is being recorded. So you will, those listening live, you will get an email from our system with a link to recording, and it will be most likely up on our YouTube channel as well. Just go up to YouTube, do a search for Wizard Systems or one word, and you'll see loads and loads of other GoldMine videos up there and all sorts of topics around GoldMine, mainly on 101 sessions that we've done in the past. Okay, so let's get started. Just a brief mention about Wizard Systems. So we provide any kind of service around GoldMine, the product, upgrades, any help and guidance on using GoldMine, getting it set up. We provide a wide range of GoldMine add-ons. So where GoldMine might not do something, invariably because GoldMine is so popular, there's an add-on option for that. We supply a range of those and all the ongoing support as well. Okay, so sales forecast versus the opportunity manager. Let's pop into GoldMine then. So there are these two ways of tracking your up and coming sales in GoldMine. And the choice is down to maybe one or a combination of a few reasons. So first of all, do you have any specific reporting requirements? So if you need to create reports, either to share with other GoldMine users or maybe a non-GoldMine user or a third party, and depending on how much information they want in that report, that could dictate whether you use the sales forecast or the opportunity manager. The sales forecasts are basically a very simple way, a simple and quick way of registering an up and coming sale that your organization is going to get, some up and coming revenue. And the opportunity manager is a more sophisticated tool. There are lots more options there for storing more detailed information about your up and coming sale. So first point, do you have any complex reporting requirements that might dictate one or the other? Secondly, do you have a complex sales process in your business? Are there the product or service you're selling, is it of a very technical nature? Is it quite complicated that requires you to store maybe quite a lot of information about the intricacies and information along the way? Are there lots of steps along the way? So does your sales process go through different stages in the negotiation, qualification, negotiation, so on, up to the eventual order? Are there lots of decision makers on a sale? where you need to record those in GoldMine as well. So you're not just selling to one person, but maybe there are lots of different people that you need to contact in the life cycle of this inquiry. Thirdly, do you have a long sales cycle? By that, I mean, how long does it take for the initial inquiry to get your order? Can it be weeks, months, maybe years before you get a potential sale? Rather than just a quick sale or a very sort of reactive sale, customer phones up, they order something. There's no need to forecast it. For example, you get the sale in that kind of reactionary setup. So, how long is your sales cycle? And fourthly, the average value of your sale. So if in your organization you have lots of little orders, a high volume of low value orders, let's say below £1,000 or certainly below a few £100. We're in the UK, so pound sterling. So you would probably be unlikely to use the opportunity manager if you had if a majority of your sales were low in value. It would just be too much bother, too much hassle to put in all that information for a sale that is relatively low in value, quite a simple sales process that might dictate as well. So if you're selling high ticket value items, maybe many tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, almost like a sort of project in a way, well, that's where the opportunity manager would be a lot better for you. So let me just outline those two options to you. So first of all, a simple sales forecast, and that can be created normally from the contact record. There are a few ways of doing this, but right above the contact record, you can select forecasted sale. That will pop up the forecast sale box. Let me show you one I created earlier. So just very simple information. So we have a basic description, one long line of bit of text on that description. You've got a drop-down list of typical items you might be selling. There's a 3-character code to categorize the sale. User is the name of the salesperson. Then we have the volume, the quantity, if you like, the unit price here, and the extended amount there, and then a couple of other primary bits of information. The probability, what's the probability of getting the sale, percentage probability, 0 through to 100, and the expected sale date. Very basic information, and if that's all that you require, low value sales, quick sales cycle, it just takes a few seconds to put that in. If, however, your sales process is more complex, longer sales cycle, more complex products and services that you're selling, that would lend itself to using the opportunity manager in GoldMine. So on the opportunities tab of the contact record, you will see the one or many opportunities on the go at various stages with this organization. And if I just double click on this one down here, this is an example opportunity record. It can be customized. So unlike the simple sales forecast, you can't create any additional custom fields there. If there's specific information you want to track about this revenue, this opportunity, then the opportunity manager allows you to do that. You have a few custom fields that you can use. Basically, in the top half of the screen here, we've got the primary information about the opportunity. So the name of the opportunity, the primary contact it's linked to, the name of the salesperson, a way of coding that opportunity as well, the status of the sale, is it open or closed? Where are we at in the sales process? The lead source, again, a sales opportunity allows you to track multiple sales sources whereas a sales forecast doesn't. And then obviously the value of the sale, a number of dates around the opportunity as well, and some closure information if you've completed some components of that opportunity. Then running across the middle of the opportunity record, you have a row of tabs. These are the standard ones that you get with GoldMine. On the influencers tab, this is where you can define, lay out the different decision makers on this sale and what their role is on that sale. So you can actually create links to other contact records in your GoldMine system and associate those contacts with this opportunity. The products and services tab allows you to record multiple components of this overall opportunity. So if the opportunity, for example, can be split down into different types of product or maybe sales over a period of time. So in month number 1, you're going to be supplying this. In month number 2, you're going to be supplying that. They could be set up as separate sales there. These are, in fact, sales forecasts, separate little sales forecasts, yet linked to this opportunity. Tasks allows you in a graphical way, rather like a Gantt chart, G-A-N-N-T, a Gantt chart, to graphically lay out a timeline of key things that you must do in the life cycle of this opportunity. A lot of people like to have that visual display of the key milestones that they've got to do with this project or sales opportunity. And then team is everyone in your company primarily that may have a role on this opportunity and what they're doing. Issues. Now, the opportunity manager, and I've mentioned this on a few one-on-one sessions before. When the opportunity manager was introduced in GoldMine a long, long time ago, it was based on Miller-Heiman, the Miller-Heiman method of tracking large account sales. So some of the terminology goes back, throwback to at least a couple of decades ago when the opportunity manager was introduced into GoldMine based on Miller-Heiman terminology. And one of those are issues. So what problems or issues or obstacles have you got to overcome before you get that sale? We've got some basic notes. We can track our competitors. Who are we up against? How do we rank those as well? Details and links is a way of creating extra custom fields or links to multiple documents. Again, you can't do that with a simple sales forecast record. This allows you to set up links to maybe something that the customer sent you, maybe a copy of your proposal. And then pending in history, just like you've got on your contact record, at the timeline of things that you have done with this opportunity and things that you have scheduled, things that you're about to do with that opportunity. So as you can quickly see, there's loads more information here that we can track against an opportunity compared to a simple sales forecast. So give it some thought. If you don't do sales forecasting right now, maybe you do it in some other system, or if you're just starting out in GoldMine, think about what kind of method is best for you based on the reasons I stated earlier on: reporting, complexity of the sale, length of sales cycle, value of sale. How simple is your sales tracking requirements there? So that's it on the comparison between the two. If you've got any questions around this feature, those listening live, pop in those questions into the meeting control panel and I'll do my best to answer those. So first question from Sandy. We use Excel because of the charts we want to create. Can GoldMine do that? Well, there are dashboards. There's graphical dashboards in GoldMine. So on your main menu in the bottom left-hand corner of your screen, you can click on dashboards, and there is a pre-built dashboard for tracking sales forecasts and opportunities. I think it's in the managers section. You can also create your own dashboards as well. There are lots of other KPI metrics in GoldMine. If you want to print them out, then you need to use a reporting tool that might be supported by GoldMine. So that would be typically Crystal Reports or Microsoft Power BI to create some appealing charts and graphics there. So hopefully that answers your question. William, can GoldMine do quotes? Well, we do have a link to Word and Excel. I do know a few of our GoldMine customers using Word and Excel for creating quotes. So not as standard. There's also a very popular add-on to GoldMine called QuoteWorks that will allow you to create quotes and proposals. We'll send you some information on that, William, after the call. That's a really popular add-on, actually, QuoteWorks, to do that. Lee, how do you view all of your sales forecasts? Well, that would be, going back to the dashboards, it could display that there. There's the sales forecast dashboard. Or also on your activity list, click on your activity list and you'll see sales. It would just say sales or sales forecast. Click on that and then you will see all of your sales, and then you can see sales relating to other users as well in there. Another question from Lee. How about multi-currency? Good question. GoldMine only supports one currency, your base currency. So when you create a sale, when you put in an opportunity, there's a value that will just be assumed to be your local currency, your base currency. QuoteWorks does do multi-currencies. So if you do quote in multiple currencies, then QuoteWorks supports that, and you could do some multi-currency reporting from that. I have seen GoldMine users also use the code field. I showed you the sales forecast record with a 3-character code. I've seen some people use that code for currencies. So GBP, EUR, for example, that could be a possible way of utilizing the code field against a sale. But no, multi-currency, not with GoldMine. Simon, what are your thoughts on the differences between the opportunity and project manager? Well, the project manager is basically identical to the opportunity, the similar look and feel of the screen and tabs across the middle of the screen. But the basic difference between the two is that an opportunity has a sale at the end of it. It has some sales activity going on in it. And I do know of a few, you are able in GoldMine to convert an opportunity to a project. So if you think about the sales process, you can be going along on your sales process and then you get the order. So you could then convert the opportunity to a project in GoldMine. It is possible to do that. But those are the differences between the two. Well, that's the main difference between the two. An opportunity has a sale. James, how do you report on forecast sales as opposed to opportunities? Well, so the sales forecasts, you can see them on the activity list. You can also print those out. You can also export them to Excel as well. Anywhere you see a list of information in GoldMine, you can click on your right-hand mouse button and output to Excel, as long as you've got the security access in your setup to do that. So you could easily dump those sales forecasts out. There are some built-in reports with the report writer. So I mentioned earlier, Crystal Reports and Microsoft Power BI. They are more sophisticated reporting tools that are very popular, used with GoldMine and indeed other database-like applications. So they could be used for creating reports from forecast sales and opportunities. But there are, if you click on the reports menu in GoldMine, you will see the very basic reports in GoldMine. That might be okay for you to get a report out of either your forecast sales or your sales opportunities. Just check those out. Contact our support James if you get stuck any further. Right, don't think there's any more questions coming through. Thanks all of you for those. Some really good questions there. Now, just to keep you up to date with GoldMine product news, we are actually starting now to go out and visit clients again. So this event is May, almost middle of May 2021. We're just starting to get out and about now to see our clients again. Our training center is open in Bristol, but if you prefer, we can offer online training. That, to be honest with you, we've been providing online training with GoldMine for, well, 10, 11, 12 years now, even longer. So if you're not able to travel, you have a need for getting more information about any aspect of GoldMine, please contact us for information on bespoke GoldMine training or training for maybe new users or new starters. Latest release of GoldMine is 2020.1, and then there's a .2. .2 means it's the second hotfix. So 2020.1 is the major version number, if you like, and then through the year or between versions, we get these little hotfixes, which are little sort of incremental builds, which typically fix issues that we might have spotted in the product. So hotfix number 2 is the latest one there. The only way of getting updates to GoldMine is to subscribe to the annual maintenance contract for GoldMine that you can get through Wizard Systems. So if you're not on one of those already, there are some special offers to be had from GoldMine via Wizard Systems. So if you're out of maintenance, you're running an old version of GoldMine, it's always a good idea to keep up to date with the latest version. Extra bells and whistles and features are available to you, plus compatibility improvements as well. If you get a new PC, for example, you don't want to be in a situation where some aspect of GoldMine can't be used or you get an issue. So it's always a good idea to keep on the latest release of GoldMine. Contact us for details if you're slightly out of maintenance there. Well, that's it, me done on an outline of the differences between sales forecasting and the opportunity manager. Hopefully that's a little bit clearer for you on the difference between the two. If you've got any suggestions for future topics, please email me. I'm Tim Wilmot. Email me, tim@wizard-systems.com. There's all of our other contact details, specifically their YouTube. Wizard Systems is the channel name, and we've got a GoldMine playlist there, so you can do a little search of all of the other GoldMine videos that we've done over the last few years. So thanks very much, everyone, for attending. Catch up with you on the next session. Thanks very much. Bye-bye.